What Glasgow address has a direct connection to Santa all year round? Where can you stand face to face with Trongate residents from the 18th century? Find out now in this episode of Astonishing Glasgow. I'm making this episode in December 2024 and I can't help getting into the festive spirit, just like the rest of the city. You're probably familiar with where I'm heading, but you may not know about its connection to Santa Claus. It's surprisingly frosty up here in Cathedral Square today. I could really do with a heated shutter button on my camera, but it's not the cathedral we're here to visit. I'm here to visit Provand's lordship, Glasgow's oldest house that was built here in 1471, though I'm really not sure why anyone would want to build a house so close to such a busy road. The cold's really making my jokes worse than normal, so let's get inside where it's going to be a bit warmer. It's lovely and warm in here, thanks to the £1.6 million that has been spent on this building over the last 2 years. It now has double glazing installed by Glasgow City Council, who own and run the museum as part of Glasgow Life. That means it's free to enter, so why not come up and have a look for yourself? It passed into the ownership of Glasgow City Council in 1980 and opened as a museum in 1983. Before then it was owned by the Provand's Lordship Society, who stepped in to save the last medieval building in Glasgow when its future was looking bleak. One of the members of the Provand's Lordship Society was Sir William Burrell, who gifted the Burrell collection to the city. He also supplied a lot of the 17th century furnishings inside the building. Another member of the society was the architect Charles Rennie Mackintosh, famous for his high-backed chairs. Could these chairs from the 1600s have acted as inspiration? You'll never know. For now, we should head upstairs. While I get there, what's with the name, the Provand's lordship? The name came in the 1800s, when research then showed that the house had been occupied by one of the 32 canons of the cathedral. In the 1500s, Glasgow was split into 32 prebends, or areas of the city. Each prebend would have its own canon. Not that kind of canon. Most of the canons were paid for by the cathedral, but the canon of Ballarnock, he was paid for by the 5,000 acre estate about 3 miles from Glasgow. The word prebend became corrupted. It became the word Provand. Now Provand then went on to become the name of the estate in Ballarnock. The Provand Hall still stands in Ballarnock. Another great visit which I went to this summer, but unfortunately I have since lost all the video footage. Not very surprising now that I have over 8 terabytes of Astonishing Glasgow files to try and find, so I will need to go back soon for another visit. So as we get to the first floor, this handsome chap is the Lord of Provand. He would use this house when he was in Glasgow, and so that is how it became known as the Provand's lordship. As well as a recreation of the Lord's Chamber, there's also a gallery on the first floor with great images of old Glasgow and a portrait gallery of some of the significant visitors to the building. Possibly the most famous visitor being Mary Queen of Scots, who was here in 1567 to visit her then husband Lord Darnley. I talk more about their story in episode 60 of Astonishing Glasgow, but Lord Darnley was here for a very specific reason, and to tell that story I'm going to go back out into the cold. Provand's lordship stands very much alone on the high street now, but it has had different neighbours through the years. In the 1900s, when the Provand's Lordship Society bought the building, there was still a row of tenements connected to the house and more tenements at the rear. Before it was purchased by the Society, the house itself was being used as a sweet shop and a sweetie factory, owned and operated by the Morton family. We know that before that, the Lord of Provand was using it from the late 1500s, but as it was built in 1471, What was it used for its first 100 years? Next door, where MacLeod Street is now, was a hospital and a chapel, founded by the Bishop of Glasgow, Andrew Muirhead. He was the bishop who had the house built in 1471 for one specific purpose: to accommodate the master of his new hospital. In 1567, Lord Darnley was attending the hospital to be treated for his syphilis. While he was here, Mary Queen of Scots would have stayed with him, but she would have been accommodated in the hospital master's house next door, the very house which is now the Provand's lordship. I hope this is making sense. The hospital survived into the 18th century, but was demolished in 1798, followed by the associated chapel in 1808. The site became the Barony Church, which is now the Barony Hall of Strathclyde University. Now, why did I talk about Santa at the start of the episode? That is because the hospital and chapel were dedicated to Santa himself, St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas was not from Glasgow, and I have no evidence that he ever visited. He was from Turkey and lived from the year 270 to 343 AD. He was the patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, children, brewers, pawnbrokers, toy makers, unmarried people and students. But it was his love of gift giving which gave rise to the Santa folklore. The hospital and chapel of St. Nicholas may have vanished from Glasgow over 200 years ago, but his name still exists in this part of the city. Behind the Provand's lordship, in its original location, now that the tenement block has been removed, is the garden of St. Nicholas. This garden was used to grow the plants and herbs used by the alchemists who made remedies and treatments for the patients of the Hospital of St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas himself is depicted on the gate as you walk into the garden. It is a lovely space in the city centre. Just ask this wee bird. The only thing that spoils the tranquility slightly are the tontine heads. These 13 grotesques are the only surviving parts of the original tontine building on the Trongate. The tontine building was built in 1781 and was the first hotel in the city. I talk a lot more about the building and the Trongate area in episode 51. But when the original tontine was demolished in 1814, the faces were saved and are now on display in the St. Nicholas Garden behind the Provand's lordship. So now you know the long history of the Provand's lordship and its connection to Santa Claus. I hope you've enjoyed this festive episode of Astonishing Glasgow. If you have, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to grab some merch, either for yourself or to give as a gift in the spirit of St. Nicholas, head over to my Spread shop page for t-shirts, hats, stickers and more. The link's down below. If you would like to make a donation, please hit that super thanks button to help me continue to make episodes of Astonishing Glasgow. These are the Santa Clauses who gave after the last episode. It is all very gratefully received. If you want to get in touch, use the comments section or message me through the Facebook and Instagram pages. You'll find the links in the description to this video below. Now go and enjoy your own festive celebrations. I'll see you all very soon in Astonishing Glasgow. There is no way I'm getting on that thing. No way whatsoever. Right, where are those selection boxes? Chocolate oranges, pigs in blankets, gravy. Oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.